name is Kellie Callender. I'm the head chef of the bistro at Westwood. I'm 29 years old, about a month away from turning 30, which I'm actually kind of looking forward to. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why I like cooking and what kind of drives me in this career, in this industry, and why I like travel and how I experience culture through food. I've been kind of lucky in my career to experience a lot of different aspects of the culinary industry. For example, I was able to cook for Olympic athletes who were training for Sochi in 2014. Um, why that position really meant a lot to me is because I got to learn about the nutritional aspects of food, one in how it affects high performance athletes, but also in how it affects any human being. And it really integrated the philosophy I've had that food shouldn't be just about pleasure. It should also be about truly nourishing your body with what you need to function on a day-to-day basis. Um, Another opportunity I had was working in Bhutan, where I got to actually cook for the king and queen, which is a super cool experience that I'm almost like shy about telling people because I don't want to look like I'm bragging, but it's really cool. Um, it's a country that's surrounded by the Himalayan mountains, so it's culturally preserved, we can say, or it was culturally preserved for a very long time. How this experience worked is I worked for a property or a company called Aman Resorts. They had 5 different properties in Bhutan. I got to travel around to each one, and it was kind of like a cross-cultural integrated training program. So I would work with the locals in hotel environment, teach them about Western cooking standards, teach them about what's trending over here for us, and in return they would teach me about their culture, their food history, and I got to experience basically what it's like to live and eat as a local in Bhutan. One of my best memories that I'm sure I'll ever have was wandering around a little bit lost, coming out of a little forest down a hill, and there was a little house there, and the lady beckoned me into her home, and I was kind of confused about what was going on because this was within my first month of being there. So she invited me in. I sat down on the floor. I was confused. She didn't speak English. I didn't speak any Zonka at the time. And she sat me down, offered me tea, and offered me snacks. She didn't seem like she had very much, but seeing me lost, a little bit lost, and wandering was something that is a tradition in their culture where they take people in and they offer them food because they have a more nomadic culture. Another experience there was eating amidatsi, which literally translates to chilies and cheese. They serve that with traditional Bhutanese red rice, and that's all you eat, and you eat with your hands. So my first experience in the canteen eating with local staff, picture me eating with my hands, which apparently I don't know how to do well, and they say I did it like a child, which I understand, and then eating handfuls and handfuls of spicy chilies mixed with cheese. It was an unbearable experience, but it taught me a lot about their culture. And now, after 7 months of living there and eating like that, I crave that. I crave chilies. I can't go without it. It's the same way they feel about it whenever they travel outside of Bhutan. Um, so cooking's always been a main theme in my life. I grew up watching the Food Network. People like Alton Brown, Michael Smith, Martin Yan, kind of some of the old classics who really, really inspired me and mentored me. I also was fortunate enough to work in a fine dining restaurant after going to school. That restaurant was called the Wesley Street Cafe, and the chef there was very inspirational for me because he was creative, technically very, very skilled, and he had an emotional depth that I feel like is kind of lacking in the culinary industry. He was able to teach me moral lessons, ethical lessons through cooking, through his food. He always taught me that your food needs to be true to you first. You can't do it for money. You can't do it to satisfy other people. You have to cook for yourself. And that's kind of always been a philosophy of mine since he taught it to me. One of the most important things to me in food right now, and one of the biggest issues actually facing our society, is sustainable eating and sustainable living for that matter. Having your food come in from thousands of kilometers away isn't something that's going to be sustainable as the population increases, and that's why the trend of local food is picking up a lot of steam, is because people are becoming more and more aware about sustainability. So not only does it encourage your local motherfucker, I just lost it. I lost it. I lost it. Restart. Hi, my name is